Welcome into the Common Dad Podcast Season 4 premiere. Yes, that's right. We are on Season 4 now.
Nobody said we'd make it
You
this
ask
far.
why? Well, at the end of the day, we can end and start a season whenever we want. So maybe next episode will be Season 5. That's the beauty about having your own podcast right there. So welcome into Season 4, the summer season. We are here. It's kind of hot here. I'm sure it's quite sticky down there in Florida.
It's very
in the
hot
90s
down
yet?
here.
How's your AC doing? Still
Got
not
a new
working?
one. It's brand new, shiny,
Finally. Okay.
nice and
Working really
effective.
well? Or
Oh yeah. We went a half ton
not having AC?
stronger than the previous unit, and it's nice. Cools the house very
What is
easily.
a half ton? How are we measuring?
They
how
are
are we
measured
measuring
in tons.
AC
You buy like,
power?
I don't know what it means per se, but you get like a 3-ton unit or a 3.5 ton or a 4-ton. We went with a 4-ton.
Right.
I think it has to do with
But it's not, it doesn't weigh 4 tons.
No, it does not. I think it has to do with the BTUs.
Okay.
And the BTUs has to do with how effectively it can cool an area. And so I think a 4-ton, I think, would be like a 4,000 BTU. I'm probably completely way off base, but it makes sense in my mind.
Yeah, I have no idea. As long as it works, that's really all.
It works really well.
No matter
And now
how
I
many
have like
tons
a
you got. Yeah.
iPhone app that I can control it, and I can see it, and I can monitor it,
Oh,
and
there
I
you
can
go.
see how much usage I'm using
Fancy.
every day, and look at that on like a little bar graph thing that tells me. So if something ever goes wrong and it's working harder, I'll get an alert that,
You know.
hey, something's wrong with the AC. It's working harder than normal.
This is the perfect pre-topic to a fatherhood podcast, just talking about effectiveness of air conditioning units.
Well,
That
now
was
I can
good.
monitor
like
the
that.
electrical usage and then see the change in our
Jeez.
electric bill, because
That's strong.
fun
I like
times.
that. We should get a sponsorship. I think we would do a lot for whatever.
Well, I
this
wish we would have gotten a
4-ton
sponsorship
company is.
before I bought a new AC unit, because that wasn't cheap.
Well, we can work on it. We can reverse engineer. We're not live, so we can present this episode, and then maybe if you're listening, maybe there'd be a commercial right now, and then after.
Well, here we
now
go.
on top, we just got the
Our
commercial.
producer stepping in.
Oh gosh,
Before
Here we go.
electric
You wanna
air
read that?
conditioners existed, people used large blocks
Mm-hmm.
of ice to cool their homes and businesses. The ice absorbed heat and slowly melted as it warmed up. The use of tons to measure cooling capacity comes from this time. A ton refers to the amount of heat it takes to completely melt a ton of ice.
that's insane
So I got a 4-ton
for
unit.
a lot of reasons, but that's crazy. So really, people back in the day would like sell just big blocks of ice.
Just put it in your house.
Talk about pure profit. That's pretty, ice in certain areas, not difficult to come by.
I imagine in
Interesting.
the areas
Okay.
it's
Well, that-
not difficult to come by, you didn't need air conditioners. I'm just saying.
That's a good point. That's a
Just a
good point. That would be tough sledding. Door to door ice salesman in Anchorage. No, we're good. We're good on ice again. Damn, this is a bad business idea. All right. Anyway,
Seamless transition
that may
here.
be a little look behind the curtain as to why I haven't figured out how to get a sponsorship for this, because I'm clearly not a business minded person. Anyway, speaking of hotness, we haven't done a bracket in a while, so we're going to start the season off with a bracket, the best of summer activities, things to do, whatever you want to call it. So I've got 8 here.
Oh.
I got a solid 8. Now I'm gonna go through these, and you let me know if you think we need to add one. We could have a little play-in tournament if we need to, if you got a couple. But this is what I've
beach.
got in no particular order.
The beach.
It's on there. It's on
The
there.
beach.
It's on there. It's on there. Pool, of course. Water gun fight, beach, camping, cookout, yard games, campfire, bonfire, whatever you want to call it.
It doesn't go with camping.
And no, it doesn't have to be exclusive.
How do you have a
No.
campfire
I mean,
while not camping?
Easily, you have a little fire pit in your backyard, and you walk out to it and sit.
So it's a fire pit, not a campfire.
Okay, fire pit.
Words matter, Justin.
That's why
it's 2023.
Words matter. And then lastly, fireworks. I mean, it doesn't have to just be the 4th of July. At least around here, the rednecks will fire off a firework for any excuse. So it feels like an all-day one to me. Do you have any that you want to add or subtract to this list before we get started?
I feel like campfire should be added with camping.
But it's not. All right. What if we just change it to fire pit?
I'm okay with the change to fire pit. I don't think it's going to make it very far in the bracket.
Change it to fire pit.
But I'm good with that.
Okay, we change it to fire pit. Okay, are there any other activities you would like to add?
Let's see. Theme parks.
Anything come to mind?
Theme parks.
Okay,
like a roller coaster park, a Disney park, even a.
Right.
I would say like in general theme parks. I don't. Do you just lump water parks in with theme parks?
Yeah, I think we can add.
So
we can lump those in.
Parks.
Can we? All right, amusement parks. Can we lump in like the cheap but very accessible, crappy summer carnival that usually comes with like a 4th of July situation? They're a little sketchy, but they're $5. Can we add those in?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Feels like prep. Okay, all right. It's certainly a different experience, but it's the same idea, right? All right. So I need one more, so that way we can have a little playoff because we got 8. That's 9. We need one more.
Zoos and museums.
Solid summer.
Are those amusement parks? Zoos, really? Are those amusement parks?
No.
There's no activity for you. You're just walking around and kind of looking. But museums and
we'll just call them what they are,
like aquariums,
museums,
stuff like that.
Aquariums, zoos. Yeah. Okay. All right. I like that. Okay. So we've got 2 that we're going to add. So we'll have to face those off. So, all right, let's get this thing started. I'm going to, and we'll start with our play-in guys. We're not going to put them up against each other though. So I'm going to put.
You're going to ruin this.
I'm going to put. What do you want to put amusement parks up against?
I don't know. Dish it out.
All right, we'll put them up against fireworks.
Summer activity, and this is for the family. This is not if you're the single college guy. This is a family activity.
Right. If you're a single college guy, you don't know we exist. You're not listening to this podcast.
And you said amusement parks?
Yeah, amusement parks. So your
fireworks are great.
Yeah,
if you're doing big fireworks, and big fireworks don't really go too well with family.
Fireworks don't mix great with little kids.
Nope,
it's typically not.
The fireworks that do mix well with little kids aren't fun. They're the chintzy little cheap Target, Walmart sparklers. They're glorified sparklers, and that's fun for them, not necessarily like for you.
Effects.
An amusement park can be fun for all, and it's a full day of adventure as opposed to 5 minutes of watching your money literally burn in sparkles.
Yeah, the only, and I'm going to ultimately agree with this. The only thing I would give fireworks over is if you've been listening to this podcast or you know me at any level, I enjoy casual environments at the most. So fireworks, you can go outside in the backyard, do it right there. Theme park, like you said, is a whole day, which can be a little cumbersome, but I would definitely say the theme park, water park is way more fun than
for us lately. When my wife and I were dating, it was, Disney, Universal, big theme parks. We did that when our youngest was very young, and very quickly learned how tiring it is with a child. And we have since switched to water parks, which are fantastic because you kind of pick a spot and you can just, you have like your home base and and it's a water park. So anytime you get hot, you just go cool off. And
you're in the water.
If you get tired, then you go grab a snow cone and you go back to your towel and you just kind of lay there for 5 minutes and regenerate. And then you go get in another line.
There you go.
The theme parks, walking around all day, place to place to place to place to place. It's exhausting.
It's a lot. It's a deal. Yep.
But amusement parks.
All right. So let's, let's all right. So our other play-in, which we had like aquarium, zoos, museums, we're gonna match that up against. I kind of want to match it up against this one because I don't like this one at all. The water gun fight. I put it in there because I think it's popular, the water gun fight. However, I disliked them when I was little and I hate them now. What are your
I enjoyed
thoughts on
them
a
when I
water
was
gun
younger.
fight?
I've lost
Okay.
a lot of interest in them. I think that they're generally short-lived, and while some people enjoy them, it's usually the older kids, and they enjoy it by picking,
Yes.
by all teaming up and picking on one or two people in particular. And so it's not necessarily fun for that person. And that person always goes to mom and dad and starts crying that they're not being nice.
This feels like a very specific reference. Were
No.
you that person?
No,
at
I
one
enjoyed
point?
them.
No, okay.
But I've
all right.
watched them, and
You
I
were the-
have observed what happens in them.
So
And again, your
observe. That's a good way to put
your
that.
aquarium, zoos, things like that. It's almost you can do it quicker depending on the size of the location you're going to.
Yeah.
But it's a day-long experience. Generally speaking, it's fun-ish for everybody involved, getting to see animals and creatures and whatnot.
I'll tell you, the zoo for me, and this isn't just my bracket, but if it was for me, like zoo aquarium would be up there because it's the perfect combination of an all-day thing, but it's very casual. Like in most zoos and aquariums, you can
set
can
your
have
own
a beer. If you're at an aquarium, it's air conditioning. You're just kind of moseying around. There's not a lot the kids can get into unless you go to a zoo in Cincinnati. Then you got problems. But yeah, I really, really love R.I.P. Harambe. Dedicate this one to him. But yeah, I love a zoo aquarium, and I love a good museum, like a natural history museum. As you could probably guess, I'm not a big art guy, but I'll go stare at it. Whatever, it's fine.
Sure, why not?
So I think we can agree, museum, zoo, move on from the water.
So my
gun
two
fight.
add-ins already knocked out two of yours. Nice.
Immediately, I'm going to replace them
Round one.
right now. Okay, so let's get going with a hot round one here. I'm going to face off two, probably what people would be considered juggernauts. And I'm gonna say the beach. Oh, you know what we left out?
What you left
Can
out.
I make a
correct
game
that.
time decision? What I left out. The lake. Can we
I would
lump that
say
in with
lake
camping?
house or lake and beach are a category. Like a lake house, beach house, or a day at the lake versus
See, I
a
was
day
gonna-
at the beach. I think those are kind of the
That's
same
what I was
thing.
going to pit. You think they're the same?
I think they could be.
I think they're
That's
so
summer. Because if
okay.
you don't live near the beach, but you live near a lake, it's the same thing. You're packing up a
Okay.
bag full
All right.
of stuff.
All right.
You're
I'll
going
give
and
you-
you're setting up, and then you're
It's
spending a day
going
at
to water.
a waterfront.
Okay.
It's
All right,
the same
that's fair.
thing.
All right.
If you live
Okay.
in the middle
All right,
of
that's fair.
Montana, you're not going to do a beach day in the middle of summer.
All right, so we'll do this. We'll do beach day, and we'll just call them days because obviously when you go to the beach, it's typically
Usually
a
you're
longer thing.
going for a long time.
You're there. So we'll just say like a day at the beach versus a day at the pool. And that pool could be your
Community
it
pool,
could be
personal
a
pool.
public pool, whatever. Your most ideal pool idea versus day at a beach. My gut tells me the beach, but I'm not so sure
Oh, you could be
because
persuaded.
of sand.
Because of sand.
Because of, I could be persuaded. Persuade me.
So I have not really been a beach person for the majority of my life, which is very strange living in Florida. But for the exact reason as you kind of stated, sand, it never really caught on with me through most of my earlier years. And then maybe it's just being a dad. I don't know, watching my kids on the beach the last 2, maybe 3 years. It's kind of turned around a little bit. And now I look forward to summers, and we take our tent and we go out. Starting in May, usually we spend Saturdays at the beach. We take a cooler with a couple of beers. We take lunch inside the cooler, couple of towels, and we just go park on the beach and just let the kids go. And yeah, we get that Florida tan now because we're spending every single weekend almost at the beach for 5, 6, 7 hours.
So you're saying beach.
It's the beach.
You're saying beach over pool.
It's the beach.
My
It's the
only-
day-long
and I love
family
the
event.
beach.
You get everybody out. You're away from your electronic devices and things. You are disconnecting from everything going on in life. You are plopping down.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be an alcoholic beverage. You're just sitting on the beach. Now, I will specify, when we do the beach, we always take a canopy. I'm not sitting in South Florida
cooking.
sun
You're not cooking
for 8
Yeah.
hours. That would, I would immediately reverse my answer without the canopy. But with the canopy, being able to sit under there, I mean, we've even had times where we've been out there and it started as a beautiful day, and then halfway through the day, it's just torrential downpour. And the beauty of the canopy is we just lowered the legs down.
And you're
And so
good.
we had like 3 feet, 2.5 feet, something like that between the canopy and the ground. And so the rain, we just all kind of huddled in underneath there, and we sat in our chairs and we ate sandwiches and we watched the entire beach pack up and run like maniacs and clear out. And we just lowered our tent down. And like 30 minutes later, as it does in Florida, the clouds blew over and it was bright blue skies and it was blazing hot because now all that water is getting baked up by the sun and there wasn't a cloud in sight, and the beach was completely empty because everybody left.
It's all yours now.
And now it's all ours.
So my only contention with the beach is that you're out in the elements. When you're at a pool, specifically like your pool or like a friend's pool, like at their house. First of all, the water's cleaner than the ocean. Probably there's definitely not sharks in there. There's just a lot less that can
Are
go
sharks
wrong
a thought when you're at the
pool.
beach?
Not anymore because I'm not 10. But you know, it could be. But nevertheless, like it's just a more controlled environment. And again, I like the feeling of being able to walk into air conditioning and there is no sand. The idea that I don't have to pack all my food, I can just be inside. But I love the beach because it's wide open. I'm not confined. I can be free. I can walk. So I will agree with the beach, but I think it's close for me.
The trick is to develop a system for the beach. You narrow it down to just the things you kind of need to make it a good experience.
You need a system.
And it needs to be, you need to find a place at the beach, a specific beach, if you will, to go to where you can park relatively close. So you're not carrying, like I said, I take a canopy and a cooler and towels and beach chairs and all these, all this stuff. I don't want to carry it a half mile from the car to the actual place where we're going to set up.
Sure.
So we have one that we go to. It's not too far from our house. It's about 15, 20-minute drive. We get there usually early enough that we have front row parking. It's maybe 100-yard walk to where we're actually going to set up shop. We get there. We make one trip. Sarah has a couple of things she carries. I carry a couple of things. The boys each carry a backpack with like the toys that they want. And we're there. So we park.
Gotta have a system.
One trip. We drop everything down. We pop up the pop-up tent, which you know how quickly those things go up, man. They go up, I mean, in an instant nowadays. They're so quick to set up. And we're done. And then for 8 hours, it takes us 15 minutes, not even 10 minutes to set up. And we're done. 8 hours of beach time.
Did we once do a reel about the tent?
I don't think it ever aired.
I don't think it ever aired either. We'll air it this summer if we still have it. All right, next one. So we're gonna go campfire. We're gonna go campfire versus the theme park. Now, campfire is not camping. This is hanging out by the fire pit, whatever.
Okay, so this isn't campfire. This is fire pit.
Correct, fire pit. There you go, fire pit. Fire pit versus the theme park.
I would still go theme park here, but my own inflection is to narrow that down to water park because it's an all-day event.
Right. It's your yes. So yeah, obviously the fire pit can't be an all day event. But it can be pretty close to all night if if you are so inclined. I love the fire pit. Marshmallows, hot dogs. There's a lot of sitting. I like the sitting. I like the idea, especially
you
if
put
you
it with
live in a
camping, and I'm
particular
all for
part
it.
of. Yeah, but camping's different. It's different altogether. So I would go campfire. You want water park here?
It'd be water park.
Oh, tell me why.
Because it's the all day event, and it's especially for a water park. It's almost little to no work.
Little to no
You
work.
grab
the
a towel.
lines.
They have the chairs.
Oh.
They have everything. You grab a towel. You sit down, and you wander
gonna
around
sell
a park full of water.
If you're gonna sell
going
me
down
on no work,
slides.
the fire pit's the no work.
No, you got to build
If you're
the fire
selling me on
pit.
water
Again,
parks,
in my
not
mind,
the
fire
selling
pit
point.
is with camping. And if you pitched it that way, I probably would have gone with camping because I do
But
enjoy
it's
a good
not
camping.
camping. I could walk outside right now and do a fire pit right
Good
now.
for you.
and not camp. Two very different things.
And 15 minutes later, you'd be done.
No, absolutely. This is outrageous. I feel attacked. You know what? I'm gonna give you this one.
Oh,
but,
you're gonna try to
I
claim
feel
it later, huh?
confident. Yeah. This is for sure. This is a pass. I'm getting you. You owe me one.
Oh, do I know?
You owe me one because I got another one. That I will put through no matter what. All right. So the fire pit is out. That's insane to me, but
It's a summer
okay,
activity. Do it
all
in the fall. A fall fire? I might even be with you on a fall fire.
All right. That's fair.
Nice.
That's fair.
It's not cold, but it's
That's
just starting
fair.
to get a
It's
little bit
crisp.
nipply outside. It's crisp.
Okay.
The leaves
All right.
are turning.
See, that's
You're
that's
getting
what I
there,
wanted you to sell me
and
on.
like you have
that's the correct
but this is
answer.
summer.
Now
This
I'm
is
with
summer.
you.
No, it's
But now
summer.
I'm with you.
It's 108
Now I'm
degrees
with you.
outside. The humidity is 75. It's
Done.
no.
You sold
that's-
me.
I walk
That's-
outside
see,
and it's a blanket of
that's the
wet,
answer.
just water
All
and
right, that's the
humidity.
answer.
And keep in mind,
All right.
I live in Florida
Okay.
too. I mean, our summers
Yeah.
are just unlike
You're
anything.
always
People vacation
You're
here in the
always
winter,
swampy.
not in the summer. In the summer, everyone leaves. It is ungodly hot here.
It's insane. Okay. All right. See, that was well played at the end there. Okay.
So I don't owe you one
this
anymore.
This one again, you could have one with the other, but they don't necessarily have to be. So try to think of these as separate things. Yard games, so your cornhole,
Yard
ladder
games
golf.
at the beach.
Sure, you could take yard games anywhere. But just whatever. Sure, you could have yard games at the beach versus the all wonderful and glorious cookout.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now you normally have,
But
the
that's
yard
what you do at the
games
same
cookout,
time.
but you don't have
you gotta have the cold beer and
Usually.
the hot dog and the burger and the brat, and you're tossing the that's
All right,
those
so
are
it's
one and the
simple.
same.
It's simple, but they're not. So what would you rather do? Would you rather be
The
hanging
cookout,
out,
because I'm gonna have
working the
yard games
grill,
at the cookout.
drinking? Okay, no, you're missing the point. You're missing this. Would you rather? Now it's
Have I
would
gotten
you
to you
rather?
yet?
Would you rather be working? Yes, I'm sweating.
So easy.
We have another host. Gosh, fat, bald,
I already
hairy,
ran him out.
all worked up. It's season 4, episode 1. Anyway, would you rather be working the grill, working the hot dogs? That's not what I meant. Not what I meant.
Wow.
Working the hamburger.
Working.
Flipping the. I'm trying to get through this, and you're not letting me. So
Great.
really, would you rather be cooking on the grill, having a
Sure.
beverage of your choice, yelling at the kids if you
Next to the
say
pool?
yard game? So help me God.
Playing cornhole?
Sure. Next to a
Volleyball
pool.
in the pool?
Or I'm just going to ignore you. Or would you rather be
Try.
over there tossing some bags, maybe a little horseshoes What would you, of course, beverage of your choice. For me, I'm ultra competitive. I could probably play cornhole, horseshoes all day long. So
And
I
what are
would
you
go
eating
yard
when
game
you're
too,
playing
because
these
I like
games?
to compete. Whatever I want. It could
So,
be
like-
from
like
the cookout.
barbecue
It
stuff,
could be
like
a
a
bag of
cookout?
chips.
Like cookout stuff.
It could
like barbecue
be
stuff.
It could be. It could be. It could be. It could be. What would you rather do of the two choices that I laid out?
I
to
like
you
working the
very
grill. Every time we
specifically?
do the kids' birthday parties
Okay.
and things like that, I've always got a group of the guys with beers hanging out around the grill, chatting. The grill. Now we have a pool now at my parents' house, and so it's and we
Sure.
do have
You can
cornhole
do
set
all
up.
those
We have games
You can do all
both
those
in the
things.
pool and next to the pool while we're doing that. But it would. I enjoy the games, but I normally do
Yep.
that when I'm at an all-day activity like the beach.
Sure. Cornhole tough on the beach, a little windy. But
It's just a challenge.
Bocce's the beach game. Bocce's the beach game.
Bocce's good.
Um,
You introduced me to
horseshoes go on the beach,
to
too.
horseshoes on the beach. Horseshoes works pretty well on the beach.
Horseshoes on the beach is it's a good time. Yeah.
And we tried to do the bucket version of the beer pong on the beach, which was a challenge.
That was
but it worked.
difficult, but it was fun. It was fun. It was fun. The wind you had to play.
I'll
it,
give
but
you the
when hit a
games
shot,
one
it
on
was
this
cool.
one. That way I could call in a favor
Let's
later.
go games. That's fair. Damn. Okay. All right. So cookout loses, which is just a shame because the cookouts that's strong. Okay.
Because
so now
while playing
we
the games, I'm going to
have-
be cooking out anyways. So
right.
really, I win either way.
So now we have pure camping with a tent or an RV if you are of that
camping.
wealth.
Camping is camping. Whatever that
Camping
means
is
for you.
camping. You're away from your home. Camping.
Oh, that's an Airbnb.
You're actually
but-
camping.
Camping.
Away from your home, not in a structure like that would be
Cabins.
authorized by the city. It needs to be something on wheels.
Whatever
or
camping means for
cloth.
you.
I don't know. The people get the idea. Versus the zoo, our play
Camping.
the zoo aquarium.
I
No.
live in Florida.
No.
Yeah.
Which is all the reason don't go camping. Panthers,
It's
gators,
and-
crackheads,
and
it's all in play. And what?
my 8-year-old has a rifle. What's your point?
Oh man, camping. I guess you're probably
We have shot a
correct
tree
as far
down.
as-
We shot this thing so many times it
That's-
fell over.
That's a good time. That is a good time. When
We
I
live
was a
in
little
Florida.
kid, I
Camping is different
loved
here.
Camping.
You get
It's
the bonfire, you get the games, you get hiking, you get, knives and hatchets and machetes and cutting trees down, building fires, fishing.
You do get it all with
You
camping.
get all of it, and you could
You
do
get the
camping
yard
for a
games, you could
day.
get the
You could do.
grilling.
We've even gone out there to where we have camped before, and we haven't even slept. We went out there first thing in the morning. We spent the whole day out there, and then we packed up at night and left.
It is cheap too.
I
which
don't know
do
that
love.
that's necessarily camping, but it's the same area we did, and we just did all the daytime activities because we didn't want to stay overnight and pack all of that extra stuff. So
Sure.
we just
sure.
packed a day of stuff and went out to the middle of nowhere and just spent the day.
All right.
And yeah, my son brought his little, it's like a little air rifle, kind of like a Red Ryder. It's a different brand, but you have to pump it up. And, we have these little metal targets that he can shoot at and he can practice and teaching gun safety and all these things.
If I visualize my perfect camping day, it's very different than yours, but I would do like a place by a little creek, tent, obviously
Those are great.
a little portable grill, do some fishings, do some. You're far
Don't need
away
a
from
portable
any
grill.
animal that
Make a
could kill
fire.
me.
Make a fire and you
Definitely.
just grill it over
Well,
the
yeah,
top.
you could do, or just a little little grate that you can put over it, so you can do hamburgers if you want to.
Yep.
Yeah, that is pretty great. If I picture my ideal camping trip, and it doesn't cost anything,
No.
And you can end it whenever you want.
Just, it costs
all right.
gas to drive out there to
yeah.
the middle of wherever, and
And that's it. That's
You
it.
find
Okay.
public
So
land
we're
and you
at
do
our
it.
final four. We've got beach, camping, yard games and theme parks. So we will go yard games versus the theme park.
Theme park.
Two very vastly different things.
Theme park, because I would still stick with water park. For summer in Florida, I would stick with water park, but theme parks are fun. I mean, you can go to Disney and spend a day in like a Star Wars land and do all these Star Wars things and rides and roller coasters and photo opportunities, and it's a family experience that's with all day.
A lazy river. I could do a good water park with the lazy river.
We've done two of the 3 ones to do in Orlando, and they all have lazy rivers. My only gripe with their lazy rivers are no beverages in the lazy river. One of the hotels we've stayed at in the lazy river allows beverages in the lazy river, and that one is the one to do in the hotel because you're floating down on a little, and you got the beer, and you are asleep before you even realize it.
Real quick, would you rather have a pool at your house or a lazy river around it?
Lazy river around it. I tried to convince my dad to do a lazy river instead of a pool. I did try to sell him
this
that
thing
it could be a moat
and
as well, but that didn't really work.
We're gonna do in moat in Georgia. You'll definitely get some animals in there. The problem with the yard games is it's only good for like an hour to 2 hours, and then you're just kind of.
I thought you said you could play cornhole all day.
You're tired of it.
I thought you said you see now you're doubling back on yourself.
If you're in the, you're not playing for 2 straight hours. It's around, you're in the area. Again, I go back to my all day.
It's a summer activity. You worked all week. The kids are out of school. You got to get the kids out. You go. You pick a Saturday and you just leave.
It's a good time, especially if your kids are old enough to where they don't need to be watched all that closely. Now you're really talking. All right, I can get behind the theme park. It feels like it's just water park at this point.
It really kind of is, but
because that's what it is.
But I could see if you lived in Ohio, a water park might not be as fun.
They're just not accessible. There's not a lot of water parks in Ohio unless you go to Cincinnati or
but at the
Cleveland.
Same point, your theme parks or roller coaster parks are going to be a lot more comfortable in summer there than a theme park in South Florida in summer. When it is 100 degrees outside and the entire theme park is paved in blacktop, you want
the water.
It's hot.
You want the water. All right, so last Final Four matchup, beach versus camping, which are
beach.
Very kind of close to the same thing. You get all your crap. You go out to a remote-ish area and you're there for the day and you enjoy the natural things of the area. But yeah, the correct answer is absolutely the beach. And
if Lake House were in this one, beach would win over the Lake House. So beach.
Oh, okay. Let's do a quick. You prefer the beach day over the lake day?
Oh yeah.
I think that the lake day, while don't get me wrong, is a fun day. You got a boat, maybe a jet ski, you're tubing. That's a good time. But anybody who has the option to, if you could go just as easily to a lake or just as easily to a beach, would pick the beach. We would go to the lake all the time when we were in high school, but that's because we lived in Ohio and we didn't have a beach to go to. So we just told ourselves, no, we want to do the lake. It's better. But that was a lie. But yeah, the beach is superior. I agree. But you do what you got to do to just, oh no, the lake's better than the beach. It's great. They don't know what they're missing. All right. So camping out. So the final is and rightfully so, it comes down to water things. The
water park versus beach
versus the theme park. Yes. We'll just call it's water park versus beach. For me, you get the water's very accessible for both. So that's kind of a bit of a push. It's right there for you. You're hot. You go take a dip. I don't know if the beach is as much fun, because you don't have slides and lazy rivers, but it's a good bit more laid back and relaxing.
There you go. You want to sit
And I
back
think
and
that's-
spend 8 hours drinking a beer. You get up
I
every
think
20
that's
minutes and you play a game of, horseshoes or something.
I think that's it.
You walk out, you stand at the edge of the tent, you kind of put your arm up and you hold the end of the tent and you
Yep.
just sip a beer and you watch the kids running in and out. You can't really do
And
that.
you're just
public
exerting
pool.
dominance over the whole beach.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what you're doing. You're just
When you're at the water
down
park,
a family.
it's fun. But
Oh,
everywhere, especially when the kids are younger, you have to go do things, and it costs
Yes.
money. You're paying amusement
Yes.
park money for a hot dog or
Dippin'
chicken
Dots,
sandwich.
pretzels. Yeah.
There are some
Yeah,
downsides
it's-
to the water park, and there's lots of people. The beach we go to, there are people.
There's a lot of people.
There are
But
people
you
at the
can
beach,
control that. You can go to a beach with less
but
people.
we pick up
There's
a beach that
always
has
people at the
fewer
water
people.
park.
Exactly. And at the
Mhm.
water park,
Mhm.
it is just a giant mass of
Yeah.
people all over each other. And everyone in that wave pool is all taking a piss in that wave pool.
Oh,
Every one of
it's
them.
a piss pool.
It's a piss pool.
Wave of piss pool. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
boy, what a time.
And it probably is at the beach
real
too,
quick-
but it feels like you get fresh water when the waves come in, so it's a little better, I guess.
Sure.
Maybe, kind
Yeah,
of. I
it's
can
better.
convince myself it is. So
It's natural urine as opposed to the synthetic stuff at the water park. Yeah, I agree, and I think anybody
Interesting.
else would agree that the synthetic
natural
urine.
versus
So
synthetic
the beach.
urine.
Yeah. The beach, and you can get it all. You can get yard games. You could, if you get crazy, you could grill at the beach. I've seen it. I don't
That's not
recommend it, but
crazy.
you could do it.
There are
Yeah, it depends
pavilions
how
at
hot
the
it
beach
is,
where
but,
we go.
whatever.
You could rent a pavilion
go.
at the
That's
beach
true.
where we
That's
go,
true.
and they have
You
grills
could do
in the
that.
pavilion. We see people throwing like little
It's
birthday
got
parties and
everything
stuff
you
for
need.
their families.
I want the lake people to let us know if you think the lake is better than the beach. And if you do really think it, tell me why and really be honest with yourself. Really try to be honest with yourself.
Convince
'Cause I
yourself
think-
in your post that the beach is better.
Right. The only claim to the lake is better than the beach is if you really enjoy boating, because boating in the open ocean is probably not as enjoyable,
Why?
as far as like tubing and like skiing.
Why?
You can't really. It's not nearly as flat. But I don't know. That's probably the only argument is that.
You can easily
Um,
find flat areas to do all of that in the ocean. You just have to
You
get away
probably
from the
could.
shore
You
a
probably could.
tiny bit, and it all flattens out.
Right, and
The
then you're
shore
fine.
is
You're
what
fine.
creates the waves.
Yeah. Or be a man and boat right where the waves break. Do that. That's a good time. Nothing will go wrong. Just YouTube it. All right, so beach is the ultimate, and that's kind of what I figured this would come down to, but I'm glad we did the exercise because we're here educating people. Before this podcast, if you didn't know the beach was the best, now you know. And also, in the 1800s, people cooled their houses down with giant blocks of ice.
We are an
those two
educational
things.
podcast as well.
Yeah.
They should put us on the
You
History
are now
Channel.
better. Yeah. This show would be more educational than some of the history show channels now. There's some wild crap on there now, but it is all entertaining. Okay, well, welcome to season 4. Glad to have you back. Yeah, go to all the things and follow.
We challenge our
Facebook,
followers to do
Instagram,
all of what
YouTube.
we listed and then tell us what they enjoyed the most.
All
And if you go
things.
camping,
And it is
you apparently
still-
have to go camping in Florida with wild panthers.
you have to ride them. You have to ride them and subdue them with no weapons.
Make them pets.
Yeah, you make them pets. Absolutely. Just like what's Talladega Nights where he rides around with the panther in
Yeah.
the car? That's cougar. there's a cougar.
It's kind of the same. I mean, cougar, panther.
What's really the difference? It's a big cat. Anyway, this is getting dumb. Go to Instagram, follow us. Go to YouTube. It's not new, but it's there. Follow, subscribe. It's all free. Go to Facebook. We're there as well. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Common Dad podcast. And let us know what the beach activity is for you. You could try to convince us that we're wrong, but
You won't.
we're not. But anyway, more importantly, thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.